right, we want to bring in meteorologist Lindsay Riley now. Back again with our weather impact forecast. How's it looking?
Looks like a beautiful weekend, abundant sunshine, temperatures warming, although Saturday overall will be the cooler day of the weekend. Here's the outline over the next 5 days. Here in the valley, we're still in the 60s for highs with 40s out the door tomorrow morning. But by Sunday, 72, and we continue to rise through the 70s through the end of next week. The Rim Country, beautiful hiking weather this weekend. Temperatures falling into the low to mid 30s for morning lows, but by Sunday we're up to 60 degrees, and by the middle of next week those temperatures in the upper 60s. And even in the mountains we're going to be seeing the rise through the 50s as next week progresses, and even some low 60s late in the week. At Arizona Snow Bowl, 93% of the trails open this weekend, 100% of the lifts, but it is going to be a windy weekend out on the slopes. Those gusts between 25 and 30, and temperatures, at least during the afternoon, will be in the mid to upper 30s, but plenty of sunshine. Check this out. This is the snow coverage across the lower 48, and as of today, 45% of the country is covered in snow, which is the most on this date in 20 years, since 2005. So you can even see a little bit up north across the Navajo Nation, White Mountains, and the San Francisco Peak. So we're included in part of that 45%. Cardinals, they're home on Sunday. Maybe you're planning on doing some tailgating. Early in the morning, temperatures starting off in the 50s, rising to about 65 by the early afternoon. Kickoff is at 2:25, where the temperature will be about 66, and after the game we'll be at about 63 degrees out in Glendale. Hour by hour tomorrow, we do start off in the 40s again, so a cool start to our Saturday, but by 2 p.m. we're at 66, 67 by 4 p.m. Up in Flagstaff, hitting 50 degrees by noon. We'll stay in the 50s for the better part of the afternoon. We will see a little bit of a breeze up in Flag tomorrow. Along the rim, starting to warm up, mid 50s by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. No threat for rain. Maybe you're planning on hiking, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend for it. Prescott reaching 56 by 2 o'clock tomorrow. High pressure is in control, keeping all the weather systems out of here, but you can see quite a lot of rain and snow across Idaho, moving into Salt Lake City, Wyoming. So that storm system will be staying to our north. Really, the next week at least is looking dry across the desert Southwest. Flagstaff 7-day temperatures rising next week, and the return of 60 degrees by next Thursday. Here in the valley, one more day with highs in the 60s before we return to the 70s Sunday and get close to 80 by next Thursday and Friday.